Sports. We're back in the studio in the Birmingham area right here on a Wednesday, giving you the hottest show on the streets. Talking your Bama football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you all in here. Checking out the show on a Wednesday. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you via YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you guys know what time it is. I want you to smash that subscribe button right now. Hit subscribe. Get locked on. Get locked into your number one ticket. You're talking Crimson Tide football right here. Smash the like button as well. Hit the like button. Get those likes up. Run those likes up all the way. Appreciate all of you making this your spot here for Tide football. That daily super chat go, $100 daily. Super chat go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from you. Got quite a lot of things to touch on tonight. I know it shocks you as it stunned me. James Brockermeyer potentially looking like the starting center for Alabama, now in the NCAA transfer portal with a do not contact tag by his name. This shocks me, stuns me, did not see it coming. Don't really know how to quite process this, but this is why we have this show, right? So that we all can have a conversation. So we can all have a dialogue, and we can all together as a family get down to the bottom of it. But to call in the show, you know the number, 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known. Want to hear from you tonight, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. Also, the NFL draft this week, night one starts tomorrow. Bama trying to get 4 names in the first round of the NFL draft. Will all 4 names get in there? Does somebody fall to the second round? Where does Will Reichert end up in all of this? We'll get to that as well. But we jump to topic number 1 here of the conversation tonight, and it was the thing that stunned everybody, including me. You know, I don't go to Piggly Wiggly often. You know, I don't shop at the Pig often, but went to Piggly Wiggly today, paid old Porky Pig a visit, and I go in there to get a good food plate for the family as we're shopping around in there, and across the ticker of the phone, it's according to multiple reports out there, James Brockermeyer, Alabama offensive lineman, potentially starting center for Alabama, a young man of whom from the second or third practice of spring ball to practice number 15, the A-Day game, was running with the first team offensive line. That James Brockermeyer put his name in the NCAA transfer portal with a do not contact tag by it. This came out today, multiple reports. I'm thinking it's just crazy rumor happening going around, but several people started to pick up on it. And I'm like, on the day I pay Porky Pig a visit, this is what happens. On the day I go to Piggly Wiggly, this is what happens right here. You got James Brockermeyer putting his name in the NCAA transfer portal. And this one was shocking to me because of the fact, like as I mentioned, Brock worked hard. Brock worked his tail off. Here's a guy that came in the 2021 class from All Saints Episcopal High School in Fort Worth, Texas. He and his brother Tommy both came in the same class together. Tommy was the 5-star. Now, James was the better prospect than Tommy, but a lot of people felt like, Tommy's size, Tommy's athleticism, Tommy's star rating, he would get on the field quicker, he would get on the field earlier, but James would be the better prospect when it's all said and done. What ended up happening? James ends up transferring back home to TCU. I don't even think he plays ball anymore to this point. Tommy transfers back home to TCU. I don't think he plays ball at this point. James remained at Alabama. Even when, you had Coach Saban, the whole retirement thing back in January, James doesn't leave the program, sticks around, adds on weight, adds on muscle, picked up the offense extremely fast. Chris Kaplovich, offensive line coach, raved about James's intelligence and his IQ and how quickly he was eating through his offense and how exceptional he was as a player out there on the field. And you had a battle at that center position to start spring practice with Brockermeyer and Parker Brailsford. Brailsford comes in, transfer from Washington, helped the Huskies to a Pac-12 championship last season, a berth in the college football playoff national championship game. Brailsford played all 15 games a season ago, 13 of those as a starting center, helping the Huskies to the Joe Moore Award this past season. And so Parker Brailsford comes in, and everybody's like, well, he's definitely the guy. He's got to be the guy. He follows Kalen DeBoer to Washington. There is no doubt he has to be the guy, right? And that first day of practice for media viewing in March, I'm out there, and I'm seeing Parker Brailsford, big 72, running with the first team. But from practice 3 to 15, it's Brockermeyer out there running with the first team. And I know Brailsford had an off-field, non-football situation that happened. Kalen DeBoer talked about it. He's not transferring. He's not leaving. Just going through some things. He's a good kid. We'll have him back sooner rather than later. All of that conversation was happening right there. It's weird, right? Because I know prior to this with Brockermeyer, you had Curtis Perry, former 4-star defensive lineman and in-state prospect, who came in the 2022 class by the way of Pike Road High School, just kind of north there in that Montgomery area. You had Curtis Perry hit the portal at 6'2", 265 pounds. Now, Curtis Perry hitting the portal is not as shocking, right? You can basically say, maybe it was a lack of development where his body's concerned. Maybe he just didn't fit the mold of what Kane Womack wants to do. And this 4.25, maybe it just didn't pan out for Curtis. The defensive line rotation's deep right now, and Curtis just couldn't quite, crack his way in there. You hate it for him, but you could kind of make out Curtis Perry. But James Brockermeyer, this is like, he ran with the first team all spring. I was out there. I'm seeing this. He's out there with the first team. He's out there with Jayden Roberts and Tyler Booker on opposite sides of him at left and right guard. So this is different. This is different. This is weird. This was not expected, right? Not expected. And so with this happening to Brock, you've got Parker Brailsford and Rock Montgomery. Rock Montgomery, formerly known as Raquez McElderry, but Rock Montgomery, who can play guard, he can also play center. You got those two. And then we saw in the A-Day game where Joseph Ionata, a 3-star in this recent 2024 class, got some work there at center. But Ionata is not comfortable there because he was recruited to play tackle, right? So with Brailsford and Rock Montgomery, you got two guys, but does Kalen DeBoer go into the portal to maybe pull one more guy with some experience depth at center? Because that's a position that you need. Seth McLaughlin, a good kid. But Seth McLaughlin gave U.S. the Bama Nation a lot of PTSD last year for those snaps. And y'all are not trying to go through that again. I know you're not. You're not trying to go through that again. So while this is incredibly unexpected, I don't know what caused this to happen for Brockermeyer. I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm definitely going to do some digging and trying to figure this out, because this was very shocking to me, especially after we saw for the majority of the spring, he was the guy running with the first team. But he's now in the portal. Do not contact tag by his name. We're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that down. When we get back, I want your thoughts in the chat line. I want you blowing up the phones. What are you thinking about this move of Brockermeyer hitting the portal? What are you feeling right now? Line us up. We'll be back after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Touchdown Alabama is a fully independent outlet that covers all things Alabama football. Founded in 2007 when Nick Saban arrived, we have been here through the entire Nick Saban era. In this new era, now is the perfect time to stay up to date on everything Alabama football and know what's going on, including everything that's going on with recruiting. Our website at touchdownalabama.com will always keep you in the know on everything that's going on with the Crimson Tide, and you can also get breaking news notifications with our app. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook, over 60,000 on Twitter, nearly 30,000 on Instagram, over 30,000 on TikTok, and we're constantly growing. Also, be sure to become a part of this rapidly growing venture and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com to get inside and premium information on the team as well as recruiting inside the state of Alabama. We are constantly adding to our premium subscription package, so be sure to lock in now.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Hottest show in the streets here, talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Wednesday. Appreciate all of you guys checking us out. Continue smashing the subscribe button. Tap and subscribe here on the channel. Get yourself locked in, locked on too. #1 forum for your Bama news. Also hit the like button, smash the like button, run those likes up. We appreciate that. The daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that comment from all of you. Phone lines open. Taking your calls here, 205-448-1358. The number to call in, let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Stephen, it's Tobias out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Tobias, what's happening, man? How you feeling?
Well, it's getting hot out here, but other than that, hey, another day above ground is a good day.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
Man, with this news here, it was kind of shocking because it may have been a shot where he could have been the starting center, because folks were thinking, okay, Gabriel said he ain't be handed the job. That's no guarantee. And if Brockermeyer put that work in, been with those ones all that time, he might have had a shot. But I think this is the case, Stephen, of I haven't had much tape. I'm going to do this spring to put some tape out there and then be out. Because if there's a no contact, he already know where you're going.
True. And I also look at it like this. I also look at it like this. With Kangan DeBoer wanting to run more shifts, motions, window dressing, eye candy, pre-snap stuff, you got to have a lot of just athletic big man to run a lot of his pre-snap stuff. And I figured as good as Brock is, and Brock worked his tail off, did DeBoer come into this thing thinking, I need to have my guy that I ran this this formations, athletic stuff here at Washington, and that's the reason just why Brailsford still has a job.
Yeah, and honestly, we won't know what really happened or what caused him to want to transfer. Maybe he'll show up with a brand new truck at his next school. Who knows? But even with Curtis Perry, that's the case. Sometimes everybody doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Even though you may have the stars by your name, it may not be a good fit. He gave it a good go. Maybe hopefully he's smart about it and say, hey, maybe let's stay at school like UCF calls. That's okay. You still get a scholarship. You still get to play. You get what I'm saying. And maybe that type of school may be the best school for him, you know?
I mean, right. Because Curtis wasn't the biggest guy in high school. He was 250, 260 in high school. But he was wrecking guys there. But then in high school, it's different, right? They put you out there and they say, man, run out there and do your thing. Like, there's no structure, there's no system, there's no formation, there's no terminology, there's no, structured assignment. It's like, go out there and do your thing. And a lot of kids in high school, they thrive in that. But then once you get to college and there's structure to it, there's discipline to it, there's scheme to it, there's formation to it, and then not just to mention, there's the discipline structure of your body and what they want you to grow your body into. And that was probably one of the biggest challenges for Curtis, is trying to fill out his body.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think to a center in a portal, that may be a hard get because Brailsford is so young, and that the guy who may come in now has aspirations of starting and playing. They may just have to grin it and bear it this year. But even like this Ed Woods guy corner, I'll leave at this. I think what people understand, he's a one-year guy, and that gives those other freshman cornerbacks some more time to develop where they could get sprinkled in and not thrown it to the wolves. And I think they're being selective, but there's a lot of talent on this team that's just young. And one player I want to ask about, Steven, and I'm out of here, how's Keon Keeley doing? That's the one guy hey, make sure we keep him, give him a new car, do what we got to do. But how's he doing? What have you heard?
He had a really good spring. Got a lot of one-on-one personal coaching with Freddie Roach and Jamie Mosley, and of course, Caden Womack talked about they're turning him loose. He will not be an outside linebacker. Keon Keeley will be a defensive end. He's going to be a defensive end, playing on the line. He's coming off, getting after the quarterback. Freddie Roach told the media, "We're turning that big boy loose. We're letting him go hunt the quarterback." So he had a strong spring. There was a lot of things that were thrown at him because the coaching staff sees high greatness in him. So they put a lot on him. So this summer, this fall, I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets after the quarterback.
Yeah, because by the looks of him, he's more like a traditional defensive rush end.
Right.
And I think this game actually kept him at Alabama. But I'll let you go. Thanks for taking my call as always, and keep up the great work.
Appreciate Tobias calling out of Phoenix, Arizona, to get us some help here, or showing us some love here on the show to start us off on Wednesday. We grabbed this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's up with you, man? This is Jay from Florence. Can you hear me?
Jay, I can hear you, man. What's happening?
Man, hey, Brockermeyer gone. Man, we ain't really missing none with him because the snaps, it ain't like the snaps during the spring game was any better than what we saw last.
You there, Jay?
Able to try. You the Alabama kid. We respect it. Now it's time for you to go somewhere, bounce, and do your thing. We respect it. Good luck. But everybody else that say, them folks finna put a whooping on some folks. Our offense and defense going to be crazy, man. And yes, I'm the delusional Alabama fan. We got the guy that this man has creativity out whose eye. You know, he's finna show us what Alabama offense is supposed to look like. Why?
Definitely appreciate Jay from Florence calling to the show there. It's got some static there with the phone. We'll try to get Jay back in here. But appreciate Jay calling in, 205-448-1358 for them to call in to get your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358 here. Got a cool call topic with the NFL Draft happening tomorrow on ESPN, live from Detroit, Michigan. Night one of the draft. You got Nick Saban. Former Alabama head coach Nick Saban will be on the NFL Draft panel for ESPN. He'll have a chance to break down a lot of these players that are going on to the next level of their playing careers. Some of these guys he coached: Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, Will Riker, Chris Braswell. Some of these guys he coached against in the Southeastern Conference. So if anybody knows how to break down talent, how to evaluate talent, none better than somebody in Nick Saban that won 7 national championships in college football, including 6 for your Crimson Tide. So he will be on the ESPN panel for the NFL Draft. We take a break right here, folks, in the show. Don't touch that dial, people. When we get back, we get into previewing Bama in the NFL Draft. It's got 4 guys that can go in the first round. Do all 4 get in the first round? Where could these guys land? Who could pick up Will Riker? We'll talk Bama and the NFL Draft right after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people. We're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number 1 ticket here for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine on a Wednesday hump day. Happy to be here with you. Continue to smash the subscribe button. Tap subscribe right now. Get in on all the action. Hit the like button as well. Make this your spot here for all things Tide football daily. Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. But we get into topic 2 of the conversation. Before that, we got, hold on here. We got Jason Hayward with that $5 donation. Jason dropping the love there in the bucket. Appreciate Jason Hayward helping us out there. But now we get into Bama football in the NFL Draft. The draft starting tomorrow from Detroit, Michigan. ESPN will have the call on that. You got several Alabama players trying to hear their names called in the first round. Nick Saban has put over 100 players in the draft, including 44 first-round picks. He's looking to put 4 more guys in the first round, which would give him 48 in terms of the ending of his tenure in coaching Alabama football. So the 4 guys that he's looking to put in the draft here in the first round. You've got Terrion Arnold, Dallas Turner, Kool-Aid McKinstry, J.C. Latham. McKinstry, a cornerback, Latham, an offensive tackle, Arnold, a cornerback, and Dallas Turner, an outside linebacker. So those are the four guys that he's trying to put there in the first round of the NFL draft. And, all four guys are first round worthy. You look at the job Terrion Arnold did a season ago, really grew as a corner, 15 pass breakups to lead the team. I think we had 12 to lead the team, 5 interceptions to lead the team as well. Just a phenomenal year for Terrion. Dallas Turner, 14 and a half tackles for loss, led the team. I had 10 sacks, led the team. 13 quarterback hurries, led the team. Kool-Aid McKinstry, people did not want to throw in his direction, had 22 career pass breakups, including 15 in the 2022 campaign. And then J.C. Latham, just a solid right tackle there. Can play left, but is a solid right tackle there. So those are the four guys that about 80% of draft pundits feel like will go in the first round. Now, concretely, you have a lot of draft pundits that feel like concretely Arnold, Latham, Turner, no doubt, are first rounders. You got several guys, whether you look at Mel Kiper, whether you look at Todd McShay, whether you look at Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks, Lance Zierlein, whatever draft prognosticator you subscribe to, they've got Latham, Arnold, Turner as three definite guys to go in the first round of the NFL draft. They look at possibly Dallas Turner being the first guy to come off the board in that top 10, top 8 to top 10. You look at Terrion Arnold, that can go between top 10 to top 15. And you got J.C. Latham, that can go top 15, top 20. That's what they're looking at here. If I had to put my finger on it, I would love for Terrion Arnold to go to the Raiders. I would like for J.C. Latham to go to the New Orleans Saints. I would love the Detroit Lions to get Dallas Turner, but will that happen? That's going to be a tough sale there. But if you were to put Dallas Turner with Aiden Hutchinson, woo, the Lions would have something really cooking right there. But we'll see. But those are the three guys. Now, when you look at Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's the fourth guy that some prognosticators say late first round he'll go. Some of them say he will not get past the Ravens, Eagles, Lions. Those teams that will pick late, Kool-Aid will not get past those guys. I've seen a lot of draft boards that have Kool-Aid to the Eagles. I've seen some that have had Kool-Aid to the Lions. Seen a couple have had him to the Ravens. You have some draft prognosticators, they feel like he will not drop out of the first round. But then you have others that feel like Kool-Aid may fall to the second round. Kool-Aid may slip to the second round. I mean, even though he did not perform at the combine, he did the team interviews, but at his pro day, he showed you even with the Jones fracture in his right foot, would he go a 4.4 740? We do like a 10-foot, 2-inch broad jump with a 35.5-inch vertical. So even with a fracture in his right foot, Kool-Aid still showed you, I'm the guy. And when teams are that afraid to throw on your side because they know you a dog, that elevates your status there. I don't see Kool-Aid dropping out of the first round. He'll go late first, somewhere between picks 20 and 32. He'll go late first, but I don't see Kool-Aid dropping out of the first round. I think Bama gets four guys in there. I think Turner goes first round, Latham goes first round, Arnold goes first round, McKinstry goes first round. Bama gets four in there. Now, of course, there are other guys. You got Chris Braswell, where does he go? You got Justin Aboigbe, where does he go? You got Jermaine Burton, where does he go? You got Jace McClellan, where does he go? Tresman Marshall, Jalen Key. You got other guys that you wonder, where do they end up? But along with those guys, Will Reichert, what does he end up, right? Because we're talking about the nation's all-time leader for points this past season, the nation's most consistent kicker, no doubt the most consistent kicker in the Nick Saban era for Alabama since Jeremy Shelley, and a guy that you as Bama fans, you never had to worry about Will making a pressure kick. Like, it wasn't a concern. Like, it wasn't a fear of, oh, God, will he make this kick? It wasn't the rituals. It wasn't the chants you had to say, because you didn't have to say them. Because you just knew when 16 in crimson and white took that field, he's going to make the field goal. And going back to Will's pro day, he knocked in several 50-plus yarders there at the pro day. So where does Will Reichert end up? I mean, he's not going to go first round. Of course not. But, some say, between third and the fifth round, there are maybe some small whispers out there. Maybe mid to late second. Maybe. But a lot more of those whispers are saying between third and fifth round when you look at Will Reichert. I just want to see that man's name called off the board because he's good. He's exceptional. He will give you a dependable leg for years to come, at that position. But those are just the preview there in terms of Bama and the NFL draft, which takes place on tomorrow via ESPN. But taking another break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Light us up. We want to hear from you right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, here we go. We're back into the action, rocking and rolling. From the break here, hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Wednesday. Gotta show some love to Siobhan Pompey! Woo! Siobhan with that $19.99, dropping the love in there. Appreciate Siobhan helping us out here on the show. As always, people, that daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate you guys. We go to the phone lines now to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Steve, can you hear me? I'm back, man. It's Jay.
All right, I can hear you now, Jack. I can hear you now.
Coordinator creativity. It's here, ain't it?
It is here. I saw. That's one thing I did see in the spring game.
Two things. I saw a jet sweep. A couple of them.
You did. We saw some jet sweeps. We saw some end arounds. We saw some wheel routes. We saw some receivers doing different stuff. Like, we saw the creativity. We saw the running back post to go in one hole, pop out the other hole, and fly out. We saw some creativity.
It's on this year then, Steve. You know I'm that fan. I've been dying for this, man. Man, Steve, this offense about to be crazy, and the defense about to be crazier. We gonna beat Georgia by. I'm calling all kinds of games. Georgia by 17. We gonna stomp a mud hole on them. We gonna win this natty. Miro for Heisman. Jam. What's the running back award? We gonna win it all. Voter fatigue. Voter fatigue got to show his face this year because we finna put it on some folks' ass, Steve. Like it's finna get real nasty, and I think college football finna be in trouble for a while, man. We got the right guy in there. The man, he obviously got the guys bought in. We ain't losing nobody in the portal that we really was, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was sold on Brockermeyer, you know. Nobody, not to, disrespect him or whatnot, but hey, he got the team bought in. And if they bought in, man, I'm ready, man. Roll Tide, y'all. I love y'all.
Appreciate my man Jay calling in from Florence here on the show. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Derek from Omaha. What's up, Steve?
Derek, I'm doing good, man. Doing good on a Wednesday. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I just wanted to flip the script a little bit, and talk about a little bit of basketball. It's crazy how the Coach Oates was able to flip that dude from Auburn, that 5-star. I think he was a 5-star, that guard. And I think that Alabama's crimson-tide with the additions that they made in the transfer portal. If I'm not mistaken, Stephen, please correct me if I'm wrong, but Oates was saying that the team last year was too soft. And the people that he have coming in, those are ballers, man. They got a lot of experience and they're ballers. What do you think about that, Steve?
I'm excited about what Coach Oates is doing, Derek, with this basketball program. Coach Oates knew the game against UConn in the Final Four showed Coach Oates, look, I'm a big man away. I need a big man.
Yep.
I need a 7'1", 7'2", 230-pound mass, clogging the paint, getting rebounds, blocking shots, protecting the rim. If you can average, 8 to 10 points a game too, that's a plus. But Nate Oates figured out against UConn, I need a big body. I need that.
Right.
And I think he's got that. In this upcoming recruiting class, he's got that. I think getting a Trail Wrightsell back was huge. Wrightsell is arguably your most efficient shooter from three-point range. He's arguably your most efficient guy. Now, of course, you're more than likely you're going to lose Sears. That hurts, but he's going to go to the NBA. Best wishes to that young man. I hate Rylan Griffin hit the portal. That kind of bothered me. I love Sam Walter, but he hit the portal. He's not Michigan. Can you hold on to Grant Nelson? That's the other piece. Can you hold on to Nelson?
Right. All right, man. I'm just excited about this year coming up, man. And we got to the Final Four. There's only another step we need to take, and that's all the way to the championship. But I just want to say roll tide, and thank you for taking my call, Steve.
Absolutely. Derek from Omaha calling in here on a Wednesday. Gotta get my Final Four shirt now. I was at the Walmart for A-Day. I saw the Final Four shirts. They look pretty. I should have grabbed me up one. I did not. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not doing that. Gotta get a Final Four shirt because what that team was able to do this past season, big ups there to Nate Oates and Alabama men's basketball. But we grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven. This is Mike from Kentucky, man. What's going on, bro?
Doing good, Mike. How you feeling, man?
I'm cool, bro. You know me. If I was any better, I'd be twins.
Hey, right on.
Yeah. I thought we were too deep at center this year, but I just don't understand. Not that Brockermeyer's like the end-all, beat-all center, but I just don't understand how a kid can hang around 4 years and finally make the start and then hit the bricks. That makes no sense to me, man. I can't wrap my head around that.
It's weird, Mike. It's weird for me, too, because stayed around, right? He's out there for the majority, if not the whole spring practice, taking the reps with the first team. He's out there. So I'm like, if you're out there and you're taking those reps and you're working with that first team, why do we turn around now and your name is the one in the portal? Like, I don't understand that. And of course,
I mean,
the true reason of why this happened will never be brought to the light, even though I'm going to do my due diligence of digging here, because this just threw me for a whole loop, because I'm thinking, here's a guy that had played his way into potentially starting.
Yeah, that's what I don't get too, man. But I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but what do you think about the far-fetched notion, man? Somebody just messing with our team chemistry, using the portal as a weapon. That's a side of it we ain't seen, really.
You know what?
Maybe that's a little too far out there, but I don't know, man. But on the hoop side, bro.
Mike, it would not be too far-fetched. I mean, you look at this team. A
little bit of NIL, $400,000.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it wouldn't be too far-fetched. Like, I got a chance to listen to Tyler Booker the other day, and he said the one thing I want this team to get back to is being more of a family. And he said when Kalen DeBoer came in here and he was talking about family and being tight-knit and being one heartbeat and one group and one sound, Tyler Booker said, that's the guy I had to get behind, because he's about family and I'm about family, and I want this team to be about family.
I mean, I kind of laid back. I hadn't called your show much. Just kind of laying back watching. But DeBoer's making some strong moves, man, in the kicking game. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yes.
He's got the best kicker in the country. We're going to be fine, man. I think I agree with the last caller, man. I think we're in good hands. And we're going to keep that tide rolling, brother. Roll dadgum tide, y'all.
Absolutely. Mike from Kentucky calling in, giving his thoughts here on the show on a Wednesday. Appreciate all of you guys giving your thoughts here. 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known. 205-448-1358. Call topic here. You look at Ryan Williams, Hollywood Williams, 5-star wide receiver, Saraland High School, near the Mobile area. He will be on campus as a freshman, enrolled this summer. And the question is, how quickly does Hollywood Williams get on this field and get playing time, right? Outside of Kobe Prentice, Bama doesn't have that receiver with just huge game production experience outside of Prentice. Kendrick Law is really talented, but hasn't been used much. Hopefully he'll be utilized more this season. Emmanuel Henderson, talented. Jaron Hamilton, talented. Cole Adams, talented. Jalen Hale, talented. These guys weren't used a whole lot last season. Then you bring over Caleb Odom, freshman. That's now a wide receiver. He's got a chance to be really good. And then you got Jeremy Bernard, the transfer from Washington. He stepped up in the A-Day game, caught 3 passes for 122 yards. But how quickly can Hollywood Williams make an impact here upon enrolling this summer? Y'all, drop it in the comment section. How quickly can Hollywood Williams make this impact? We're going to go to our final break here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we're going to have a conversation, a discussion on why should we, as the Alabama football consumers, not be so overly concerned about what happened on A-Day. We'll wrap things up with that after this.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, here we go. Rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number one ticket for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you all here this evening. Checking out the show, super chatting, commenting in the chat line on YouTube, calling the phone lines. You guys have been fantastic today. But we get to the final discussion here of the conversation, and that being, why should we, the Alabama football consumer, not be so overly concerned with what happened during the A-Day game? I know the A-Day game this time around was different. We had gotten so used to the 17 years with Coach Saban and Team White, Team Crimson, the roster split down the middle. You know, 2 quarterbacks are running this side, 2 quarterbacks are running that side. We got so used to that system and that way of doing things and having all the quarterbacks get as many reps as they could possibly get to show how good they are, how talented they are, how productive they are. And this time around on A-Day, it wasn't that. King and the boy did something different. It was offense versus defense. It was all 4 quarterbacks were on the same side. They just rotated them throughout the game. The quarterbacks, they did not just have just a whole bunch of time to really get that, I guess, rhythm, that footing going. It was just kind of get in there, show us what you could do, rotate the next quarterback in, show us what you can do, rotate the next guy in. So it was different feel, different vibe, but we still saw several guys that stepped up and made plays in the spring game. J.M. Miller had a great spring game, stepped up, had over 80 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Richard Young did some good stuff. Daniel Hill did some good stuff. Jeremy Bernard did some good stuff. Cole Adams did some good stuff. Caleb Odom had a couple of catches in there. Brayson Hubbard had some big hits in there. Justin Okunrokwo, the linebacker, made some plays. Jeremiah Alexander made some plays. Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. had a pick, though it was called back. So we saw guys that made plays. And, of course, after the spring game, you have fans go, well, Bama didn't look good, and, Milroe didn't tear it up. He didn't kill it out there. He was only 3 of 9. The defense didn't look scary. They weren't knocking people's heads off. They weren't playing like they didn't need to play. Like, this was not a good A-Day game. I turned on the Georgia A-Day game, and Georgia looked dominant out there. I turned on the Ohio State A-Day game, and they playing like beast mode out there. Like, Alabama did not have a good A-Day game. People. Everything is not going to be shown in the A-Day game. Like, Kane Womack is not going to be pulling out his exotic blitz packages in the A-Day game. He's not going to do that. They're going to keep it as vanilla. They're going to keep it as close to the vest as possible. They're going to work on all the things they've worked on spring to present in the A-Day game while keeping a lot of the high-tech stuff close to the vest. That's what A-Day is. A-Day is a formality for the fans to go out there and see that. Now, when it matters is fall camp. Where it matters is the upcoming season in the fall. That's where it matters. But I wouldn't get bent all out of shape for what I saw in a spring game. I wouldn't get bent all out of shape for what I saw on A-Day. There was a lot of people just getting, oh my gosh, Bama didn't look great. Bama didn't knock my socks off. Bama didn't grab my eyeballs out my socket. Bama didn't look like, it's okay. Okay? But every spring practice prior to that A-Day game, Bama was knocking folks out their socket. Bama was knocking folks out their chair. Every practice leading up to the A-Day game. I was told both scrimmages leading up to the A-Day game, it was something serious. So the A-Day game is just a moment there for the fans to enjoy. That's all that is. Nothing to get bent out of shape about. Fall camp is where it matters. Regular season is where it matters. Now, if there's problems in fall camp and there's problems in the regular season, then you hit the concern button. For an 8A game, nah. There's no reason to hit that concern button. But just my thoughts here on why you should not be overly concerned about the spring game. But as always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, conversation, material. You check out the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Got to shout out all of you, the Bama fans, for the love, the donations, the chatting, the phone calls. You guys making this your show, your spot for all things Bama football. Appreciate all of you. Till next time, folks. Husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored there. You get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.